At a rally they set up outside the warehouse, they say it's a continued effort to pressure Lineage Logistics to permanently close its Boyle Heights warehouse.
We're here to demand answers, right? We don't know all the scientific answers, right? We don't have the report in front of us, but that's why we're here, because we're demanding that we get answers. And we're going to continue to push ahead. We're going to continue to act, right? We're going to continue to escalate, right, our actions until we get this warehouse behind us to shut down.
Now, we have reached out to Lineage for a comment on the demands that they shutter this facility permanently. So far, no reply yet, but it is early. Now, bringing it back here live, Union Pacific Avenue in Indiana, you can see some of the workers. About 400 of them are here every day, according to Lineage, and the work continues 24/7 in the cleanup effort. Once all the remaining 5% of that rotting food waste is removed, then they say they can start the disinfecting process. And again, no word on whether or not they're actually considering shuttering down the facility or not. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Gracia. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. Now to this, the Lakers governor, Jeannie Buss, is challenging her siblings' vote to sell the family's remaining stake in the team.
Yeah, a lot of family drama. Brooke is here with what the sports world is saying about this.
Yeah, you know, we've long thought of the Lakers as a family business, right? Complete with a lot of family infighting. ESPN reports 5 of the 6 Buss siblings voted to sell their roughly 18% to a group led by Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, a decision Jeannie Buss is fighting. Now, in her 13 years of running the team, Jeannie has either sued and or fired every single one of her siblings, and that might be a main reason for what's happening now.
Because she pushed through the sale to Mark Walter is why a year later the other siblings are now able to push through the sale of her shares, right? And there's a sad irony to that. Jeannie clearly saying, nah, I'm good, right? let's take this to court. And she brought back the same lawyer who helped her win in 2017, I think it was, who helped her sort of fend off her 2 older brothers through the trust boardroom coup language stuff. The same lawyer is the one she's using now, who put out the statement saying that they're countering that. Yeah, it's just, I think they thought they were, because they're all done. They're out. They haven't been part of the Lakers anyway, right? So for them, it's like, why not? And she's clearly saying, no, I'm not going down without a fight.
Yaron Weitzman is a sports journalist and author of A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. He says last year's sale to Mark Walters was also contentious, that Jeannie's 2 youngest brothers never wanted to sell, and the decision directly affected their likely future of running the team. Fast forward to now, and the push to sell the family's remaining stake. Jeannie's lawyers are arguing a court order requires trustee approval before any sale can move forward, but a potential court battle to hold on to her shares and job might not even matter. She's been the Lakers governor since 2013, and with this latest turmoil, the team's new owners might want to change. Now, Bob, Jen, I watched your earlier conversation with sports journalist Arash Markazi about this too.
When the Buss family sold it to Mark Walter, there was an agreement in place that Jeannie Buss would stay in control for 5 years. I do not believe, and we'll have to get this figured out, is Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, are they under that same agreement? Bob Iger told the California Post, it is my intention to go through with that agreement that she had with Mark. However, if things change, they change. This is why this is very significant. If Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are under no obligation to keep Jeannie as the governor of the team, they could easily say, hey, Jeannie, we'll let you figure that part out. You're not the governor of the team no matter what.
Last week, Walter sold the team again to Iger and Kushner for a record-breaking $12.5 billion. That deal does still need approval from the NBA. The Lakers' recent $12.5 billion valuation, though, ties the team for the third highest valuation in global sports, according to Sportico.
Why is it important for a team to have a governor like this? And also, I mean, the fact that this team has been in the Buss family now for years and years.
Right. It's so interesting. A couple things happening there, because, you know, these teams have lots of different owners. And so you need one person to represent you essentially at, you know, NBA meetings of governors. You need one person to have final say in all of the decisions. And for the past 13 years, that person has been Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
Of course, the majority owner can choose who they want. And the NBA says whoever you choose, it cannot be somebody who doesn't own at least 15% of the team. So if she owns 0, she can't have the job.
Wow. So where does it go from here?
That's the thing. We don't know.
Yeah.
You look at, it's so interesting because you go from being like a sports fan. I was talking to Yaron earlier. He was saying he's a sports journalist that has become an expert in state law, right? You have to be to kind of follow the Lakers. And
it seems so complicated.
It seems so complicated, and it seems like everybody has a pretty strong argument that kind of sits on top of the other one's argument. And who knows?
And then Josh Kushner has to sell his shares with the Heat before this can even be a thing.
And that decision can't even come into play until September. It's also it's not clear where Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are even getting $12.5 billion. So we don't know exactly where those funds are coming from.
Yeah.
There's so much going on here, but we'll see.
A lot of moving parts. It's only the beginning of it, I think.
He's got a venture capital firm.
Well, yes, but I'm not saying he can't come up with the money.
He was also
Don't be confused about what I'm saying. I'm just saying we don't know exactly where it's
going to
coming
make
from.
its way to the courts for sure.
Because you thought you knew where Mark Walter was doing with the money.
There's that. That's another story.
That's right. Okay, Stu. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Check out that Gia. You're talking about $12 million or $12 billion? How about a nice Karma Gia? Look at that. Tops up. Not very California, but the ride, fantastic. This Skybox traffic brought to us by My Home Sold. We're taking a look at that 405 drive. Let's do the good stuff first. Look at that northbound lane. Fantastic. From the 101 all the way out to the end of that 405, which would be over by the 5 freeway. It is a great ride this morning. You're going to be doing freeway speeds, nothing slowing you down. Yeah, they got some problems on the southbound side. Take a look at that. You're hitting the brakes right about Sherman Way this morning. Going to be very slow and go as you make your way over that Sepulveda Pass. Give yourself a little bit of extra time, but if it is your ride, you know the drill. By the time you hit Sunset Boulevard, it's going to open up and it's going to move very well, but you got to go through the slow to get to the go. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots.
Hi, I'm Adrian with My Home Sold, and we want to buy your house. We buy any house in any condition. No commissions, no closing costs, and no repairs. Go to myhomesold.com for a free same-day cash offer. That's myhomesold.com.
Happening today, opening arguments begin in a federal court in Oakland in a case that could require Meta to overhaul its platforms. The company faces allegations of designing features that addicted young users, with states suing and accusing it of fueling a health crisis. Damages could exceed $1 trillion. The judge says Mark Zuckerberg is expected to testify. Legal experts say Meta's defense could focus on the fact that while some young people were harmed by using social media, many others say they received positive outcomes.
For the first time in more than 2 years, LA County is adding names to its public housing waiting list. The county will accept applications through September 16th for 16 public housing sites. 10 of those sites are designated for seniors age 62 and older in communities including Long Beach, East LA, and West Hollywood. The wait list has been closed to new applicants since April 2024.
The road to recovery is taking some Eaton fire survivors straight to state capitol.
This is all part of a push for more state funding to help families rebuild. Coco McAvoy is live in Pasadena now with that story. Good morning, Coco.
Good morning. We're here at the Pasadena Community Job Center, where a lot of people have started gathering already because they're going to be getting on these buses starting at 9 o'clock this morning to head to Sacramento. The whole purpose is to ask state lawmakers for help following the Eaton fire, because it's been a year and a half since that fire started and many families are still struggling to rebuild. So again, more than 100 Eaton fire survivors will be loading these buses today starting at 9 o'clock this morning. Now, the group is organized by the Dina Rise Up Coalition and is pushing for $25 million for what's called the CARE Fund. The fund would help lower-income homeowners cover gaps in the cost of rebuilding, while also helping preserve affordable housing for renters and working families who were displaced. The coalition says many Eaton fire survivors are still dealing with insurance delays, housing instability, and simply not having enough money to rebuild. Their concern is that without more help, some longtime Altadena residents may never be able to return. So the group is spending both today and tomorrow in Sacramento to talk to those state lawmakers, asking for help, hoping to secure that $25 million. There will be a brief press conference held at 9 o'clock this morning as the Eaton fire survivors begin loading up these buses. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you. Now to a follow-up on a story that we told you about yesterday. A jet skier who went missing in the ocean near Long Beach has been found alive after spending more than 12 hours in the water. This story started on Sunday night, and that's when the Coast Guard said a 53-year-old man fell off of his rented jet ski. His female riding partner swam for nearly an hour before reaching the break wall and getting help. By late Monday morning, the Coast Guard said one of its choppers spotted the man floating in a life jacket 3 miles off the Seal Beach pier. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated for hypothermia. Great news, he is expected to recover. Unbelievable. Officials say the man's life jacket likely made all the difference.
I heard late yesterday that they had found them. I was shocked that they actually, because we often see these search missions and it doesn't end well.
It turns into a recovery operation, but wow, when I heard about how they were still searching the water and it was dark, I mean, I can't even imagine. That is
but the life jacket, you know, a lot of people take them off because it's cumbersome or they stink or you know, they're just not comfortable. But can you imagine that the life jacket just saved his life?
Yeah. But also there's this phenomenon with hypothermia, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something happens where you start removing clothing when you're suffering from hypothermia. It's like the opposite of what you should be doing.
Sure. You go into this sort of
like
delirium.
Like a shock.
Yeah, delirium and shock. So it's really important to wear those life jackets. I don't know if you guys have ever done the jet ski. Have you rented the jet skis?
I have.
It's really a lot of fun, but it's really important to wear the life jacket. But when you make those turns at a really high speed, easily thrown off of those things. So you really have to be extra careful and remember to never say no to the jacket. The life jackets are really, really important potentially. Good news there. How about us? How about some hot news? How's this? An area of high pressure that is again going to dominate our weather. It's going to strengthen, kind of move closer to Southern California, and it will also pick up some of the subtropical moisture to our south and southeast over Mexico Mexico and Baja. We're going to get the heat, and we're also going to get a little bit of that humidity. We're also picking up some of those high mid-level clouds from the south and southwest, and that means more sticky, sort of humid conditions will continue for the remainder of the week. There's a chance for some showers over the mountains and deserts as well. The heat risk is going up again. Last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we were talking about the heat risk really lowering to just sort of a slight risk for heat-related illnesses. Well, today it's back up again to high, and then it'll be very high to almost extreme in terms of if you are out and about and you have to spend any time outdoors, you really have to watch your body, stay in tune with your body and stay heat safe. You want to hydrate definitely and try to limit any physical activity outdoors as we get into the remainder of this week, because we're talking about triple digits well into the 1-teens the farther inland you go. 114 in Indio today, where that excessive heat warning will be in effect. 83 in Inglewood, 80 in San Diego if you're headed south, 99 in Bakersfield if you're headed north. Pico Rivera today through tomorrow, really hot conditions, jumping up to mid-upper 90s perhaps tomorrow, and then it'll drop slightly with some high mid-level clouds, but we're going to tap into the humidity, like I said, so it'll probably feel just as hot, if not even hotter. Out towards Inglewood, we'll get up to around 85 Thursday, Friday, and we're going to continue and maintain that heat through the extended outlook. So we're going to have several days of really hot temperatures. Woodland Hills shooting up to 102 today to maybe 105 tomorrow before it starts calming down over the weekend. But again, with that humidity, it will feel hotter than that. Huntington Beach along the coast, a little humid. Those water temperatures are actually warmer than average, adding to the humidity and warmth. 81 on Wednesday, getting up to 82 on Saturday. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this quick break.
How creepy is this, right? This all happened in Philadelphia. So police are looking for a suspect accused of terrorizing people while wearing a Chucky doll mask. Investigators say the suspect approached several people near Philadelphia City Hall, chasing some and recording the encounters on a phone. At one point, the suspect asked a jogger, "Are you ready to die?" before chasing her down the street. The woman injured her leg while trying to get away, and police say the suspect remains at large.
This person's lucky.
That is
this person's like that.
terrifying.
He is alive. I mean,
yeah.
You know, there's some people who would not take well to that and probably would just turn their.
You got to be.
Turn themselves
boy.
on him. First, they gave us mid. Then Delulu, which
Yeah.
I have never heard of. Delulu.
Delusional.
Delulu.
Yeah.
Now Gen Z is apparently insulting people with Fabrici fabric.
What?
I said Fabrici.
Wait.
Fabric.
Stop.
Right?
Fabrici? Did you mistake the exclamation
for an I? So I said Fabrici. Like, what is Fabrici?
See, this is why Gen Zers are making fun of your generation. This is exactly the reason.
Polyester is the latest TikTok term taking off online. The word has gone from clothing label to social media shade. So these days, calling something polyester means it's cheap, fake, or trying a little too hard. Experts say Gen Z is growing increasingly skeptical of all the curated lifestyles and influencer content they're seeing online. That's why authenticity is becoming social media's most valuable currency.
Generation Z prioritizes genuine authenticity, whether that's an individual, whether that's a brand, whether that's a company, whatever it might be, right? Be your real self.
I've only heard it used like clothing that's a bad quality. It's a good way to describe something that's fake. It sounds like a conspiracy to me.
Bottom line, no one wants to be polyester, not on TikTok and apparently not in real life either.
That gives me some hope, because I really do believe that AI and the AI slop that you'll find on these social media accounts is going to be the undoing of social media, hopefully for this generation, hopefully. And they can, you know, take themselves away from it just a little bit.
Although there are some good uses to polyester. Nice little windbreaker.
Be right back.
Right. You wouldn't wear any polyester?
What's your go-to? Can we get some dance music, please, on this Tuesday?
Star was here yesterday, and she said they don't play that music at night. It's just like that's like morning. That's our morning.
What do we got? Oh, a little disco? Okay.
Hard to chair dance.
Yeah.
Because we like to move the,
This is
Gotta
a
get
good
the
tune.
shoulders,
hips.
the shoulders going.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. See, look at that. Yeah.
This has got like a. This is a good tune. We could have used this.
Could you imagine a hip hopping to the hip rapping to this?
No, I'm saying that's an open.
Oh, it was an open.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so polyester.
So fabric of you.
Do you know that's so Fabrici of you?
Fabrici.
Is that the new
That's
thing?
the new Gen Z insult. Is if you're
Fabric.
fake or you're not authentic.
Yeah.
You're so polyester.
You're so polyester.
Wow. Where was my brother to tell me about that one? Because usually he keeps me in the know.
Yeah. So what would be good then? You're so
100% cotton.
cotton.
Wow.
You're so soft.
You're so tumble dry.
You're so Egyptian silk.
No. Oh, how about this? How you're so bamboo. Like
Are they still doing this stuff?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think they still do. That's the whole. They do this.
What do they call it?
Mogging?
Mewing or
Mogging?
mewing?
Mogging.
Yeah, I've seen them do this.
Mogging? or
Mewing.
What's the mewing? Why mewing?
They do that. These kids are like, I don't know.
Mewing, meowing.
meowing.
I don't know,
meowing.
but it's the thing they do. Yeah.
It's so polyester. Okay, I'm going to start using that. Thank you. Don't be wearing polyester today.
I'll pull that out after school today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who'd you meet? Were they polyester?
There you go, cool mom.
He'll roll his eyes at me for sure. All right, let's talk about this heat wave. Yeah, there's another one. It is going to get hot again, very hot, especially the farther inland you go. So we have these heat alerts that are going into place later this morning into the week, really, the end of the week. And then we're also going to tap into this monsoonal moisture, so it's also going to feel a bit more humid and muggy and also a little unstable. So chances for some showers, which really haven't gotten any for downtown LA. We had a nice little break from the heat 3 days in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this past, with below average temperatures. And then we shot back up again. Especially yesterday, we felt that heat, and it will continue today. But we have been on a dry streak for downtown LA, 128 days in a row now of absolutely no rain. So we haven't seen a drop of rain since April 12th. That was the last time we had measurable rain in downtown. But if you are in the mountains, the deserts, we have had some of the monsoonal moisture, and we are expecting a little bit, at least a tiny chance, as we get into Friday, Saturday. You can see Big Bear, the San Bernardino Mountains, parts of the high desert areas, and the Coachella Valley. There's just a slight chance for some of showers this weekend. All right, let's take a look at our almanac for downtown LA. Typically around 84 is our high temperature. At least that's the average. Today we're expecting 90. Our sunset time is at 7:36 this evening. These are the highs today. 103 in San Bernardino. That's hot. 93 in Pasadena, 94 in Burbank, 102 in Woodland Hills, to even along the coast. It'll be warm in Long Beach, 88, to that 80 in Huntington Beach. All right, when I come back, I'll show you that 7-day forecast. Back to you.
By the way, I bought my Avengers tickets already.
Because I told you they were on sale?
Yeah, it was like
I
a
told
big scramble.
Yeah. Or when
I don't even know what I'm doing in December, and I bought those tickets.
Well, when are you going? Opening night?
It's like the day after.
Okay.
It's almost full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
No one likes to be in on the first one like Bob DeCastro.
Right.
Yeah,
It's the Trader Joe's of it all.
I told you at 7:40 that the tickets were on sale. Less than an hour, you got them.
Can't wait.
Life is one big marketing scheme.
You did
fall
it.
for it
That's
every
right.
single
Wow. Well, you know what? There you go. At least you listened to me there. There might be a pop quiz after this one. At least he took that away, Jen. He listened to that. All right. Let's jump into some more entertainment. So if you want to go see Avengers Doomsday, tickets are on sale now, and you said there were barely any left.
Well,
for
yeah,
opening weekend.
they're going quick.
They're going quick. You know, Bob, it's a material world. And Jen, we're all just material girls. According to this year's MTV VMAs, that is.
Do you know it?
It's not the 90s, and this ain't no Time Warp, but Madonna is leading the way amongst all other nominees for the VMAs. Or should we say she's leading the way amongst all the divas? 11 nods for the Queen of Pop. Her new album this year is called Confessions 2, and as you can see, it's a major comeback to dance and club music. She's followed by Taylor Swift with 9 nominations, and Ariana Grande and Sabrina Carpenter with 7 each. But don't forget, we got some other big names in the mix. You got Bruno Mars, Zara Larsson, and Pink Pantheress with 5 nominations each. Then you have Blackpink's Lisa with 4. And then you have Tate McRae and Shakira tied with 3 each. Remember, for the VMAs, fan voting is available in 13 categories. You can go to vote.mtv.com through September 25th. Just hearing the term fan voting takes me back to the TRL days.
Oh, yeah, that was an after-school thing.
Also, God bless Madonna. I can't even remember the last time I was in a club like that. The people had their clothes off and stuff like that.
But let me tell you something. I'm very proud of her. Well, you remember those days.
Oh, I remember those
Very well.
days. I'm not saying I don't remember those days. I can't say I don't remember the last time I was in a place like that.
Gosh, do you remember when you would just go? This was before Ubers and Lyfts back in those days. You had to take a cab or have a designated driver.
Yeah.
Take turns.
And in New York,
I never enjoyed it. I never enjoyed like the sweaty bodies on top of each other. I never enjoyed that. I really
Let me tell you something though, and I say this to you all the time. You would have loved coming up in Hollywood in the earlier 2000s with me.
Don't
back
I know
in the day in Hollywood.
We would have been in trouble.
We
would have run this town.
New York,
2009.
New York in the early 2000s. And then there are clubs like that. And then my friend was like, hey, let's go up the catwalk. I'm like, what happens in the catwalk? Go up the catwalk.
Oh, yeah. If you saw me out on a Saturday night in Hollywood in 2009, no, you didn't. Well, you know, maybe you did. I don't know. Those were back in the days. All right, last hour we asked you, what's harder, friend drama or family drama? 61% of you say family drama. Go to foxla.com/vote. Let us know. We got some comments. Earthel in Lancaster says family. They're in the house with you most of the time, and it can become uncomfortable until the rift is dealt with.
At least you're dealing with that.
That's very true.
Do you ever move past each other in silence in the hallway?
It's so awkward. Alan and Rancho Cucamonga, they are both easy because I'm always right.
Oh,
I consider my friends family, so they are both equally difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
Debbie from Van Nuys. It's easier to get away from friends that cause problems. Family never goes away.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
Bound by blood.
And Carlos in Anaheim. Hi, Carlos. He says, friend drama is easier because if the drama can't be resolved, either party can just walk away. Family is for life. You have to resolve those issues. You can choose to walk away, but the pain follows you for life.
Ooh, that is profound, Carlos.
Yeah.
And Sydney in West Covina, I like the young man's green tie.
Sydney, thank you for calling me a young man. I appreciate that much.
Sydney! I like that. You know, I like when sometimes there's just a wild card comment that has nothing to do with the poll question. I love those are my favorite.
The by the ways. I love that.
We had one last Friday where a woman was mad we showed a trailer for a movie saying she doesn't like watching trailers. And I said, well, Christina, that's what we do.
Nature of the biz.
So our producer got in this morning, or Monday morning. First thing she sees is Christina writing and going, sorry. Love you guys. We're good. Christina, we got love.
Listen, if you leave like Netflix on idle, continue to watch all the trailers just keep going and going.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So,
it's hard to avoid a trailer.
It's hard to get away, yeah.
Yeah. Sumata, friend beef, family beef, or coworker beef?
Oh, we never put that in there, did we?
Yeah, well, I consider everybody family, so.
Listen, I've heard you throw down before.
What?
I've heard you throw down before.
So I've heard you throw down before.
I've heard both of you throw down on each other.
Yeah, that's true. That happens like every day. Good morning, everyone. Back to business. Good day, LA traffic, sponsored by law offices of Jacob Ronnie. Call jacob.com. Unfortunately, these vehicles threw down here, westbound 210 at Euclid Avenue, and is blocking a lane of traffic. And you can see here the delays has you backed up all the way to 15. That overturned vehicle, we do have emergency crews on the scene there. And over to this, westbound 210 at Myrtle Avenue to the Monrovia area, we do have multiple vehicles, up to 3 vehicles collided here, also delaying traffic. So if this is part of your route, give yourself extra time. And look at our real-time traffic map, 40 minutes, a long drive from downtown to get to Santa Monica, 61 minutes west 60 from 57, so make sure you plan for that. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
So I do hot yoga every day. After the accident, my lower back was so stiff I couldn't move, and I called Jacob. They treated me like a king. I did not have to deal with anything. If you're in an accident, call Jacob. Call Jacob.
YouTube.
As we get ready to say goodbye to summer. We're not ready. We're not ready yet. No, it may seem a bit early to think about booking your next vacation, but now may be just the time to find a great deal.
That's right. Our next guest has some tips to save you a whole lot of money. Adam Duckworth is the president and founder of Travel Nation. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Bob, Jen, great to see you both. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so where are we going?
Okay, so first of all, now as summer's winding down, people are starting to think about booking that next trip, which is really exciting. I'm in the travel industry. I get to do this stuff all the time. And these seasons are always really cool for us. So people are thinking about fall, they're thinking about the holidays, and they're thinking about spring break. So there's a lot of destinations that they're going. We're going to get into some of them today.
Okay. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially parents, because you got the kids and they're going through school, and you are really looking toward the holidays.
You are.
So
and you want to give a little bit of time because you don't want to take them out of school too early.
Yes.
The school year just started. So what time are we thinking?
So here's the deal. I always say this, the earlier you can book travel, the better. I wish that people heard my voice on this because we live in a culture where we're very last minute. So specifically with airfare. So we want to talk about air for a second because everybody's always worried about air, especially with demand and fuel prices, right? That's a big issue right now. And so I always tell folks, book air as soon as you can. But let's talk about the holidays if we can. So Thanksgiving, obviously the end of November, and then you have Christmas and all the other New Year's, all that goes on. I tell people, get your flights booked by October 1st. If you can get your flights booked by October 1st, you're going to probably pick up the best pricing along the way, and you're going to have the best options based on where you're going. Because there's a lot of exciting places to go in the fall, and a lot of those places require airfare, so get that booked first. Some of those places, especially if you're here on the West Coast, might be, let's go to New England perhaps, and let's look at
some leaf peeping.
Listen, leaf peeping is my favorite. Have you done it?
I haven't, but I used to live in Connecticut, and the leaves there are spectacular as well.
They are. So Boston's really popular for that. Here on the West Coast, if you're looking to leaf peep, going up to Oregon's really popular. And then Aspen, Colorado is one of those destinations with the beauty, the mountains, and leaf peeping's popular there as well. So.
I went through Vermont. It's
that's spectacular,
it's
right?
picturesque. It's like a painting.
It is.
What is going on
October and late September, early November in the Northeast is just spectacular. But there's also some other things that are really popular for the holidays, and that even in Southern California, if you're looking to take those kind of trips locally, some cruising is popular. We've seen that start to come back. Cruising is a really big deal.
Especially for families.
Yeah, and I talked to somebody out here who was just like, hey, I just got back from a cruise. So cruising has become popular in Southern California. Also, Disneyland is really popular around the holidays. I don't know if you've ever been over there around the holidays. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, I actually have. When all the lights come out, it's beautiful.
The lights come out,
What are the benefits of taking the whole family cruising, or like what are some of the challenges? I imagine it's like, I don't know, it looks a little...
It's self-contained, there's restaurants on board, there's activities for the kids.
So Jen, you said it best, unpack once. You can stop at many different places. You have one room where you unpack, have a great time. All of your food is taken care of. Certainly there are add-ons, alcohol packages, things like that if you want to partake. But this is supposed to be a one-stop shop for families to get into your stateroom, unpack, have a wonderful time on board with activities, food, dining, stop a couple of places, get off, and you have a wonderful experience. So cruising...
The less schlepping, the better.
Schlepping's hard with kids. So I have two girls.
It can really take the enjoyment out of a vacation.
It definitely can.
I just don't like the curfews, you have to be back by 5 or whatever.
Oh, you don't like when you go to a port and they say you have to be on by 5 or it's going to leave.
I might be having a good time.
I totally get it. Let me talk to you a little bit about, so we're talking about air, right? One of the things I love about Southern California is all the options you have. A lot of times people think that they're bought into one airport because that's where they've always gone. You have Orange County. You have Long Beach, you have Burbank, you have Bob Hope, you have LAX.
Ontario?
Ontario. One of the things that we talk to guests about all the time is set those Google flight alerts based on where you're going. That's another tip. Make sure that you do that because everybody's got a theory about air, right? That, Tuesday at 2:37 p.m. it's going to be the cheapest. That's not always the case. In fact, that's rarely the case.
Interesting.
Set those flight alerts and get those flights booked based on what you see, because flight pricing is going to fluctuate up and down. So get those flight alerts set.
Although at LAX, if all goes right, the People Mover will be up and running by October.
Yes. Right, but we're just in time for the Olympics in a couple of years. I got my rental car from the new place at LAX last time I flew.
So that's up and running.
It was open and ready.
And then how did you get from the rental agency to...
So they have new, I'm going to call them luxury transports running, buses. They have wonderful buses that are running from the new rental car center right to the terminal.
Wow.
It was actually, I have to tell you both, was an enjoyable experience. It really was.
You're bringing us news here because we neither of us knew that. Because the actual eventual plan is to have the people mover move you from that rental agency right to your...
Over to the terminals. When
it happens.
When it happens.
We
something else that I found out firsthand, traveling during a holiday, it's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So are there other off holiday options, maybe closer to the holidays, that maybe people should consider?
I have a lot of these, what I put in quotes, Adam's tips for holiday travel. You ready for them?
Please.
Okay. If you can travel on the holiday itself, if you could actually get out,
the actual holiday,
travel on
no
the
one's
holiday.
Doing that.
Thanksgiving is one of your best days to travel. Wednesday before, so the day before, and Sunday are the two busiest days to travel. You're going to deal with a lot of crowds and a lot of nightmares at the airport. Christmas Day is an awesome day to travel. If you can, New Year's Day is a wonderful day to travel. But Jen, I'm going to give you my ultimate tip, and I paid dearly last week in the Dominican Republic because I didn't take my own advice. My #1 tip for holiday travel, and really travel in general, if you can get up, take the first flight of the day.
Like the 6 a.m. flight.
Yes, if you can take...
I feel like you're giving away all my secrets. Because that's
they're going to be joining you soon. So here's the deal. If you take that flight, you don't have as many variables about air getting backed up, the pilot's timing out, the emergency exit light not working, and then we enter... That was me last week. Take that first flight of the day if you're traveling.
The pilots are fresh.
Yeah,
they're in good moods.
Even weather, for some reason, like... Later on, it starts raining more, and they're like, you know what, this is not a good situation.
Yeah, the trickle effect, Bob, happens throughout the day, and then especially if you're at a hub and something doesn't make it there, you are going to pay dearly for that in terms of your time. I was supposed to land at 3 p.m. I didn't land in Fort Lauderdale last week from the DR until almost 11:30 p.m. because of all the things we just mentioned.
Oh my God. How can we find you if we want some more tips?
Yeah, you can find us at our website, travelmation with an M.net, or you can find me on Instagram and or Facebook, Adam Duckworth. It's an underscore between my name. So
Adam, thank you.
Yeah.
Gave away a lot of my secrets today. I'm not even kidding.
There is no gatekeeping on Good Day LA, okay? Over to you, Maria.
Good Day LA weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. Look outside. Beautiful to start this Tuesday. This is obviously Catalina. If you don't recognize the casino there, all the boats in the harbor in Avalon. Sunshine already. It is going to be a warm one there on the island. We are prepping for another heat wave. Some very hot temperatures beginning today into the remainder of the week. So heat alerts are going into place this morning into at least Thursday, potentially extended to Friday. We're even going to tap into some of that monsoonal moisture, and you can see this big ridge of high pressure is going to get stronger as it moves a little closer to us. We're also tapping into some high mid-level cloud cover due to a little disturbance here in the middle of the Pacific. Not going to impact us directly, but just some high clouds and then some monsoon streaming up from the southeast. That means a little more humidity as well as a chance for some showers increasing this weekend for our mountains and deserts particularly. If you're headed to the beach, 2 to 4 feet from Ventura South to San Diego, those temperatures on the sand, mid to upper 70s, a little muggy. Those water temperatures as well above average, but 90 for downtown LA today. Even hotter tomorrow. Thursday will drop a few degrees as we get to the weekend. However, with the increase in humidity, we'll still feel warmer than that. 102 in the valleys and IE 105 tomorrow. That's where we have the heat alerts in place, including the mountains as well. 84 up to Big Bear today, 86 tomorrow and Thursday. So pretty hot up in the mountains. So plan your activities accordingly and make sure you have plenty of hydration breaks. 101 in the high desert, the Coachella Valley today, 111. We're going to stay in the triple digits through the extended outlook, and then that chance for showers as well starting Friday into the upcoming weekend. Right, there's my weather for now. Send it back to you.
Okay, do not go anywhere. For 70 years, Primo's Donuts have been making some of the best donuts right here in LA. In 1956, Ralph and Celia Primo bought the donut shop in pursuit of the American dream. And now it's in its 3rd generation of ownership. Joining me now in the Good Day Cafe is the son of Primo's founders, Ralph Primo, and his son, Nick. Welcome, fellas.
Good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Listen, we're regulars at this point because I went live during the World Series at your donut shop last October, right before Halloween, and it was a place that was popping, the place to be.
That's always, we like it that way.
You like it that way. Oh, I mean, Ralph, you grew up in the shop. Can you tell us the story behind your parents buying that donut store? You remember it?
Yeah, well, I was a kid. I was 3, and my brother was 2, and my folks were looking for a house in the neighborhood. And we were making a noise in the back, so my mom saw a donut shop, and said, why don't you go buy these kids a donut?
Aww.
So my dad runs in, and my mother looks at her watch and goes, how long does it take to buy a donut?
Right.
And he runs out literally right in front of our shop, where it is now, and says, honey, we just bought a donut shop.
Wow, just like that. And it's stayed in the family and been in the family for decades. Nick, what does it mean for you to continue this beautiful family legacy?
Well, you know, growing up, every Friday I'd be going in to get a fresh donut and, you know, visit my grandparents. And, yeah, just during the pandemic, my dad needed help, so I came back, and it just was always important to me to keep the tradition going. So I asked my grandpa to show me how to decorate some of these donuts, decorate the shop for painting windows and things like that, and just keep those traditions alive.
You're very talented. I got to see your work last October. I love your Halloween-themed donuts. You had Dodgers-themed donuts during the World Series. What is your personal favorite donuts?
It's been a long time, but I would say probably the chocolate Long John, which is over here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Same here, also the classic glazed donut. And another big favorite is our butterfly donut.
That's this one, and I want it. It's this one, yeah. Okay, so tell everybody about the butterfly one.
So it's got cinnamon baked on the inside with a vanilla glaze and cake crumb on top, and it's become our second most popular donut behind our classic buttermilk bars.
I can see why. I can see why. And the holidays, you got to go to Primo's for the holidays, because look what you have here. Tell me about your best sellers for the holidays.
Well, the Sufganiyat, which is a traditional holiday donut for Hanukkah.
Yep.
Very, very popular. It's jelly filled with powdered sugar. We also have dreidels and Star of David. Then we have Christmas trees and
got it all.
Halloween. We got the skeletons, the spider donut, and then just for the fall season, we have pumpkin spice cake and cranberry donut with powdered sugar.
I have seen your customers up close and personal. I've met them. I've hung out with your staff. Your employees are your extended family. By the way, how's my girl Maria? Maria, if you're watching, you're my girl.
She's working today.
Yeah.
Sure, she's taking it.
She's great. She got to teach me the ropes. I got to be behind the counter, and I see how much love you put into your shop. Tell everybody where your shop is located so they can stop in and get the donut.
2918 Sawtelle Boulevard, and this Saturday we're going to be celebrating our 70-year anniversary with our buttermilk donuts on display.
Wow. Well, happy 70 years, Primo's Donuts. Delicious throughout the decades. Go visit the Primo family and enjoy some donuts today at their original location on Sawtelle, and of course you can check them out online as well. Cheers to 70 years and Saturday celebration. Something to look forward to indeed. Thank you so much to Ralph and Nick.
Third generation.
Third generation. A proud papa and a proud son, right? There we go. We'll be right back. Okay, which one do you want, boys? I got to take your favorite. Can't eat donuts alone here. Don't leave a girl hanging. We'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome to 9 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us. How's the weather looking out there, Maria?
Well, it's getting
welcome
hot.
back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Got the first day of school out of the way for my son, and here we are. Back to work and back to the heat. We're going to be talking about another round of really hot temperatures, so another heat wave for us. Right now, we've got some high mid-level clouds streaming up from the southwest, kind of filtering out the sunshine a little bit, but we're also going to tap into some of this subtropical moisture. In fact, it will be increasing as we get into the remainder of the week. Right now, it's already hot in Woodland Hills. It's 80 degrees. It's 79 in Ontario. Same for San Bernardino. Big Bear nearly 70 degrees already. 97 out in the Coachella Valley in Palm Springs. And it's just going to get hotter well into the triple digits today. 111 there with that excessive or extreme heat warning that is in effect. 101 in the high desert to the mountains where there's also that heat alert. 84 degrees. Watch what you're doing out there today into the remainder of the week. So you want to stay heat safe, you want to hydrate, do all the things that we've talked about in order to make sure you and the kids stay safe this week. 90 degrees for downtown LA. That's well above the average. 102 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, to even the upper 70s along our coast. We'll talk about this heat wave, how long it will last, coming up my complete forecast. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you.
Maria, thank you. We do have breaking news in downtown LA right now, where LAPD and LAFD are responding to a report of a suspicious package in the mailroom of a building near 1st and Main Street. So you see the police activity right there. You see a perimeter being put up. The call came in at around 6:45 this morning. Information at this point is very limited. Again, a possible suspicious package being investigated at 1st and Main in downtown LA. We'll bring you more information as soon as we get it.
More community backlash over the Lineage warehouse fire in Boyle Heights.
Gigi Graciette is at the warehouse where yet another story unfolded right in front of you this morning. Gigi.
And that's right. You never know when news is actually going to come to you. And that's exactly what happened to us this morning in front of Lineage. Take a look at the video. About 6:47 this morning, 3 Los Angeles County Sheriff Department squad cars pulled up, lights and siren, and took a suspect into custody right in front of our cameras. Turns out he's a suspected copper wire thief. They say he was stealing copper wire from a business less than a mile away from Lineage. And while not directly connected to the fire, we do know that both LA County Sheriff's Department and LAPD have increased patrols in Boyle Heights because of the ongoing situation here at Lineage. The foul odor from that rotting food drifting very far, and a lot of people remain out of their homes and businesses throughout the area. Now, burglaries and copper wire theft, a huge issue throughout Los Angeles. During the arrest, workers and trucks heading to Lineage had to actually be rerouted and turned around. Now, later this morning, we are expecting to hear from a health care facility that sent out mobile units after the fire to treat people for various ailments they say were connected to this massive warehouse fire. And they're going to be releasing some results of their findings. Meanwhile, the protests over Lineage continue. Yesterday, Boyle Heights community activists, teachers, and LA mayoral candidate Nithya Raman rallied outside the Lineage facility here in Boyle Heights in an effort, they say, to continue pressuring Lineage Logistics to permanently close this Boyle Heights warehouse. Now, activists and Raman asking for a list of things, including the closure.
Boyle Heights residents deserve answers about what was released into the air, when officials knew about it, what residents were told, whether the monitoring was adequate, and why families are still fighting for basic things.
Now, we did reach out to Lineage for a comment on that rally. We're waiting to hear back from them. Meanwhile, in yesterday's update on the cleanup, they now say that 100% of the rotting food waste has been removed from freezer number 2. That's the freezer in the building that has now been torn down, but the building that caught fire. And 93% of the food waste, as of yesterday, was removed from the unburned structure. So we have an average of about 95% of the food waste. bringing it back here live. We just saw a representative from the South Coast AQMD. They do the air quality monitoring. We also saw the hazardous material teams from one of the fire departments here. They've been coming out every single day as the work continues here round the clock. I can tell you, as the sun gets a little bit stronger, as the heat begins to rise, we're starting to smell that rotting food smell. But as of this morning, it was a world of difference, so much better than what we smelled here on Friday as more and more of that waste is removed. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
That's certainly some good news. All right, Gigi, but the flies, yeah.
Oh, it's
really hard
gross
to see. Yeah, all of those flies. All right, Gigi, thank you. On to this, the Lakers governor, Jeannie Buss, is challenging her siblings' vote to sell the family's remaining stake in the team.
All right, so Brooke is here with what's going on in the sports world and what people are saying. This has turned into quite the saga.
No, truly, big family business, lots of family fighting as well.
Lots of money at stake.
Lots of money, way more than you imagine. The initial, you know, family, the patriarch, the owner, you imagine, could Jerry have even imagined $12.5 billion? You know, we'll never know. Right now, ESPN reports 5 of the 6 Buss siblings voted to sell their roughly 18% to a group led by Bob Iger and Josh Kushner. That's a decision, though, Jeannie Buss is fighting. Now, in her 13 years of running the team, she has either sued and or fired every single one of her siblings. And that, I'm told, might be a main reason for what's happening right now.
When the Buss family sold it to Mark Walter, there was an agreement in place that Jeannie Buss would stay in control for 5 years. I do not believe, and we'll have to get this figured out, is Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, are they under that same agreement? Bob Iger told the California Post, it is my intention to go through with that agreement that she had with Mark. However, if things change, they change. This is why this is very significant. If Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are under no obligation to keep Jeannie as the governor of the team, they could easily say, hey, Jeannie, like, we'll let you figure that part out. You're not the governor of the team no matter what.
So the push to sell the family's remaining stake, that's what's happening right now. Jeannie's lawyers are arguing a court order requires trustee approval before any sale can move forward. A potential court battle to hold on to her shares and her job. Well, that's what we're seeing play out right now. Last week, Walter sold the team to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner for a record-breaking $12.5 billion. That deal still needs approval from the NBA. The Lakers' recent $12.5 billion valuation, though, ties the team for the 3rd highest in global sports, according to Sportico. A lot of money surrounding this.
It's not obviously the same, but it kind of reminded me of the show Succession.
Of course, it's always something that comes up, right? When you hear about, you know, like family, siblings fighting like this over power and billions of dollars, of course, that's going to come up.
Wow. So it took another twist, I guess, right?
It took another twist. It's not surprising that she wants to hold on to her job. And feasibly, many sports experts saying that she wants to hold this job throughout the rest of her life, you know, let alone it ending right now. But it's also interesting why, because, you know, when you kind of take things back, the sale, I should say, to Mark Walter, we've never really gotten a clear answer as to why. All we've heard for years is that Jerry Buss wanted the Lakers to stay within the family forever. Not simply that he wanted, you know, his daughter, one of his daughters, to run the team, but that he wanted this to be the family business.
Legacy.
And this is what he saw.
And they definitely have been invested in it for so long.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure more to come with that one. Yeah. Thank you, Brooke. All right. Let's talk about the roads out there. Traffic busier this morning?
Yeah, absolutely. More and more, of course, of our students are back in school. Still a handful that's still not, but definitely contributing to the amount of volume and cars on the road. Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. We're going to zoom into a SIG alert right now. This has turned into a SIG alert. This stalled big rig on the westbound 60 at Euclid Avenue, causing quite a backup here on that 60 westbound, again at Euclid before the 15th, so just plan ahead if you were planning to get on that 60 freeway. Drive times in and out of downtown LA, definitely noticing that extra volume. It is extra slow on that West 10 between the 5 to the 4-5 going towards Santa Monica, 42 minutes there. On that North 110 between the 4-5 to the 10, 30 minutes. Look at the West 60. This is between the 57 to the 5, no doubt impacted by that stalled big rig. Almost an hour there. Now let's take a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DT LA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Bye.
All right, Santa Monica, good morning.
Bye.
Looking good.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey,
Yay.
thanks. Hey, you too.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
everybody's back.
Yeah, hey, everybody's back.
Maria's back.
What a week you had.
What a weekend you had.
Thank you for the segue. Yeah, nice segue. Ladies, humor me.
Okay.
Buckle up for this one.
Oh, no.
Fasten your seatbelt. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Good morning to all our friends and family. Because you know what? We're family. Toretto! Okay, we're going to get too fast, too furious. This past Sunday, I was invited to experience the brand new and highly anticipated Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood before its official rollout to the public. Here's a little behind the scenes of that. Ooh. So I filmed the cars.
Where's your horizontal video?
I know.
Yeah,
what's for TikTok? I know.
Amateur.
And you had to have a wristband to go in and ride it. It was very cool. You go through a metal detector for this one because you're supposed to leave your. There we are.
Oh.
There we are. I that was when I think the backwards part started happening.
Holding on for dear life.
Holding on to dear life. So it was one of the best roller coasters I have ever been on because it has that 360-degree rotation of the individual vehicle that creates.
And it goes forward and backwards.
Yeah, and it goes. That's the part people need to know about.
Oh,
so
boy.
it creates that like sensation that you're drifting, the cars start moving.
Oh, wow.
And it has a top speed of 72 miles per hour. See, that's that's the part, the backwards part really gets you.
Whiplash.
So here's what I'll say. I rode it twice. The first
In a row?
Wait,
in a
yeah.
row.
Oh,
in a row,
really?
because there was no line. It was only wristband
Okay,
only,
okay.
so there was no line. What other opportunity am I going to have to ride it like that? So I thought, let's go again. The first time we sat in the middle. The second time, my husband was like, let's sit in the front.
Okay.
So we sat in the very front. Don't forget, though, it goes backwards. So the very front then becomes the very last car. And if you know how roller coasters work, the last car tends to get the most pull. So when it goes backward, that first car, you really felt it. The second time I felt it more than the first time. There is a moment, they have the corkscrews where they go upside down. There is a moment that it almost stops for just a second.
Oh, boy.
And you feel like you're hanging upside down and you have the best view of the city.
Wait.
Upside down, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're like, huh.
Are you strapped in from the front as well?
There is no shoulder strap. There is only, they have a very intense lap bar that has handles.
That's kind of wild that there's no shoulder.
Yeah, no
strap.
shoulder. Your shoulders are exposed, as you saw in we have our picture. The picture of
where you're grabbing on for
where I'm grabbing on for dear life, and my husband has his hands up. Hands up. Look at that.
Look
See,
at that. Look at you.
I know. Oh. That was the second time we rode it.
Scary.
So no shoulder straps. There's just that lap bar,
Yeah.
and then you hang on to it in the front there. Our friends Ryan and Kyle came with us, and it was fun. If you love roller coasters,
so fun.
but that's where you feel like it stops for just a second, and you feel like you see the city.
And you said it was like a minute?
It's about 90 seconds
That's
total.
pretty good.
Yeah, 90 seconds it felt like. So highly recommend once it opens. If you love roller coasters, highly recommend it. It's really
Wow.
cool. Yeah. Okay. Now we can take our seatbelts off.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Ride is over.
Yeah, there we go. Ella Langley isn't just choosing Texas. She's chasing chart history. Her breakout hit just locked down in 18th week at #1. Yeah, I love this song, and I love Butterfly Season by her. Isn't she so pretty,
She's so
too?
great.
Her voice is great.
Oh, so
Smooth
talented.
like butter.
One more week on top of the charts would put Ella in very rare company. Choosing Texas is now 1 week away from tying the longest #1 run ever for a non-holiday song. That's crazy. Wow. Listen, when people say that, they like anything, remember that old saying, I like anything but country. No,
right.
people liking country, and they're liking it a lot because the Hot 100 is legit, and she is top of the charts. So I'm just saying I would like to go to her concert.
I used to be one of those people, I will admit, that I didn't appreciate country music, and now I find myself like really, really into it.
Yeah. I think you would like Stagecoach, Cowgirl.
I think so.
I think you would. Yeah, it's a good range. Also, I thought of you at the Carol G concert.
Of course.
Because I thought you would.
I liked your outfit, by the way.
I know.
Thank you.
So cute.
I said to Amanda, please tell me, like, you specifically purchased this. You didn't just happen to have that outfit in the closet. And, of course, she happened to have that outfit in the closet.
I did have it. Thank you. I did. Here's the company that Ella Langley's keeping. Mariah Carey holds the overall record at 22 weeks for her Christmas classic. Shabuzi and Lil Nas X both made it to 19 weeks, meaning by next week, Ella could be joining them. And if you were curious, last night by Morgan Wallen, Despacito by Luis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee and Justin Bieber, and One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men are all tied at 16 weeks. Behind that is Harry Styles for 15 weeks. And who could forget Uptown Funk from Bruno Mars at 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Good jams, right?
Yeah.
Good jams.
She's in good company.
Really? She's from Texas, I can tell. Yeah. All right, last hour, we asked you, what's harder, friend drama, family drama? Ooh, 66% weighing in saying the family drama. Yeah, go to foxla.com/vote. Don't just vote. Leave us a comment like this one. Alba in Huntington Beach. I treat my friends as family, but I'm okay walking away from anyone who is disrespectful. We're too old for that.
I like her. Jaden from Santa Monica saying, I keep my friends closer than some of my family. It's tough when you disagree with reliable people that can know more than your family does.
That's true.
That's true. And Chris from Santa Ana, one can always make new friends. You don't get to choose your family.
Ooh. What do you guys say? Friends or family drama?
I don't know.
Depends how deep the drama is, you know?
Well, I will say a friend breakup is sometimes harder than a romantic breakup.
That's true.
I can see that.
I've shed more tears over a friend than a guy.
You're stuck with your family for the most part.
Well, your family, it's like, we're going to forgive each other eventually.
Right, exactly.
You have to.
Yeah, right. But friends, you're like, are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? I don't know.
We're going to take a break.
A lot of drama going on.
But we'll be right back. That kind of break.
And welcome back to you, meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good day, LA. Weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casinos. And look at this beautiful view of the island of Catalina right now. You can see the casino, a lot of sunshine. I can see Hamilton Cove over there, one of my favorite spots. It just feels like you're in a different country. That's how much I love Catalina. So big shout out to you. out there on the island. We've got some hot temperatures coming for you as well. We've got an area of high pressure that is controlling our weather. It is expanding and it is strengthening across the southwest. It will give us hot temperatures, warm temperatures along the coast, and it will get a little bit more humid as well. So we're going to tap into this monsoonal moisture and a chance for some light showers over the mountains and deserts beginning Friday into the upcoming weekend. But we do have another heat wave on tap. So please watch what you're doing outdoors. You want to make sure you stay heat safe. We've got heat alerts going into effect today through Thursday, and it could be extended through Friday. The heat risk is increasing. I know last week I was talking about a slight cool down, so the heat risk really got low, but today it's starting to go back up to moderate to high heat risk in the valleys and the Inland Empire, and that's where those heat alerts are in effect. Even greater chances for heat-related illnesses as we get to very high conditions here for the heat risk on Wednesday, tomorrow, and then Thursday, similar conditions, maybe even extreme. So plan accordingly. If you have to work under these weather conditions, make sure you dress appropriately and take numerous breaks. Otherwise, it is heating up in Indio, 114 there today. 83 in Inglewood, looking at Fresno, Bakersfield, 99 to 100, and out towards Laguna Beach, mostly sunny skies, already in the low 70s, getting up to the upper 70s later this afternoon. Kind of a mix of high clouds and mid-level clouds. Big Bear, sunshine, and maybe a little muggy. Temperatures getting into the low 80s there later this afternoon. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news, weather, traffic, entertainment, all that good stuff. Stay with us.
Taking a look at some headlines this morning. Police in the Philippines say a student carried out a deadly shooting at a high school. Authorities say the shooter live streamed the attack from a body cam. Police say the student killed one classmate before turning the gun on himself. The suspect allegedly first fired at a teacher before firing at a fellow student. The attack comes nearly 2 months after a similar incident that left 3 students dead and 20 others hurt.
A federal judge in Boston has cleared the way for the Trump administration to end the legal protection that has allowed more than 5,000 Ethiopians to live and work in the United States. This removes the last remaining judicial block on the Department of Homeland Security from terminating the temporary protected status for individual countries. The Supreme Court allowed the administration to end similar protections for the thousands of Haitian and Syrians in June.
A bombshell case involving Penn State University. More than a dozen students have been charged with operating a multi-state drug ring, with 2 fraternity houses being alleged centers of a cocaine distribution scheme. Investigators say the alleged student ringleaders routinely traveled to Philadelphia and New York to buy large quantities of drugs. State officials claim fraternity pledges were forced into packaging cocaine as part of their initiation. 14 individuals face criminal charges, including 13 university students.
Opening statements have begun in the trial of the man accused of fatally shooting an L.A. County Sheriff's deputy in Palmdale. Kevin Salazar faced a judge in downtown L.A. yesterday. He's accused of shooting Deputy Ryan Klinkenbrummer near the Palmdale Sheriff's Station back in 2023. Investigators say Salazar pulled up beside the deputy's patrol vehicle and shot. Prosecutors say that Salazar had planned to kill a peace officer for years, but his defense claimed that he was legally insane at the time. Salazar could face life in prison or confinement to a state hospital, depending on the verdict. Deputy Klinkenbrummer, a 4th-generation officer, was killed just days after getting engaged.
Jury deliberations resume in the retrial of Gene Atkins. He's accused of second-degree murder after a 2018 gunfight with LAPD near a Silver Lake Trader Joe's that led to the tragic death of a store employee. Prosecutors argue Atkins' actions caused the employee's death. Defense attorneys argue the shooting was, quote, not a foreseeable consequence of this client's action.
A senior housing developer unveils plans for a $2 billion high-rise affordable housing complex in Woodland Hills. Take a look at WellPoint's Viva LA. This is at the Warner Center, a commercial and residential neighborhood near the new LA Rams Village in the San Fernando Valley. The development will consist of 4 high-rises with more than 3,100 units. It's intended to reduce homelessness among seniors. The LA Times reports that qualified residents over the age of 50 would have their own rooms with private baths and share a kitchen and living space with other residents. Each floor would have staff to assist folks with their daily needs. Construction will begin by the end of next year.
Today is Kyle Busch Day in NASCAR racing. August 18th, or 818, refers to the all-time winningest NASCAR drivers' car numbers. The entire NASCAR industry is commemorating Kyle Busch Day with competitors, crew members, team owners, and corporate executives sharing favorite memories of the champion driver on multiple media platforms. Busch died unexpectedly May 21st of complications from severe bacterial pneumonia and sepsis. He was only 41 years old, but his life and career will always be remembered because of his legacy both on and off the track.
9:33. Hi there.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, ladies, I should say. Yes, good to be back. Just in time for another heat wave.
Oh, perfect.
It cooled off a little, and now the heat is back.
It did. We did notice that cool down, as we had talked about kind of late last week, but then warming up again and another round of some really hot temperatures. All right, I'm going to walk over to the green screen. You two walk over there where you need to go, and then I'll handle the weather here. We've got a look at some heat alerts here coming up, but we do have those heat advisories and heat warnings for our deserts, particularly. So the farther inland you go, the hotter it will be, and those excessive heat warnings and advisories will be in effect. So that means the potential for heat-related illness is really increasing this week. So you want to watch what you're doing, make sure you stay heat safe, and drink a lot of water, especially if you have to be out and about. We're also going to tap into a little bit of the monsoonal moisture. So we're going to feel that humidity coming up from the south and southeast, a little bit of that subtropical moisture, and it will make you feel a little bit hotter than what it is outside, than what the thermometer reads. So we're going to stay above average through the extended outlook now. As we look at the month of August, we had 3 days. That was the relief that I was talking about last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but did heat up some this weekend, including yesterday was 89, so you may have noticed that. And we have had quite a dry streak for downtown LA. We have not had a drop of rain since April 12th. That's 128 days in a row now. We have had no rain. Hopefully we'll get some for the mountains and deserts, but as far as downtown LA, I'll keep you posted. Today, no rain. 90 degrees is what we're expecting. That's well above the average of 84 in our sunset time this evening at 7:36. Here are the other highs we're expecting today. Plenty of those triple digits out in Palmdale, 101, 104 in Victorville, 111 in Palm Springs, 98 in Ontario, 102 in Woodland Hills, to even Long Beach, 89 degrees, nearly 80 in Santa Monica and Huntington Beach. I'll send it back to you, too.
Maria, thank you so much. We recently met with a local mother while covering concerns over rare cancer in Orange County, and her family's story stayed with us.
That's right. Bryce Moore lost his life to Ewing sarcoma last year, and this morning we're taking some time to learn more about the teenager behind that story.
So before cancer, Bryce was a football player, an honor student, and teenager who dreamed of playing D1 football. Then came an Ewing sarcoma diagnosis his family never saw coming, and after 2 years of treatment, remission, and relapse, Bryce passed away last year. He would have turned 18 this month. Joining us now is Bryce's mother, Tracy, and Candy Hamris, founder of Cancer Teamwork Response, who helps families navigate diagnosis nationwide, cancer diagnosis nationwide, including families in Ladera Ranch, which is a story we've been covering for some time. So, ladies, welcome, first of all. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And Tracy, you know, our heart goes out to you and your family, no matter how much time passes. It doesn't get easier to lose your child. So thank you for being here to share his story. Let's talk first about Bryce before the cancer. What was Bryce like? Who was Bryce?
Bryce was pretty amazing. He was so much more than a child that lost his life to Ewing sarcoma at age 16. He was outgoing, energetic, full of life. He was funny and caring, and he could be goofy at just the right time. He was a student athlete with a 4.3 GPA and never wanted to miss school. He, even during treatment, he would sometimes ask his oncologist, hey, can I go to school today? And she would say, no, I'm sorry, you can't. And that was heartbreaking because he always wanted to be there. He was also fiercely competitive, especially when it came to playing football. He started playing tackle football at age 5, and he was a weapon on both sides of the ball, playing linebacker and running back.
So talented.
And his football IQ was off the charts as well, and he was well on his way to fulfilling his dream of playing D1 college football. But even with all of that, he was incredibly humble. He was also a natural leader. People were just drawn to him. In fact, I learned a story about him after he passed away from one of his teachers. And it was from when he was in 8th grade. He was a teacher's assistant for a 7th grade class. And pretty routinely, the 7th graders would come into class and ask Bryce for advice about life, school, relationships, sports, and Bryce always had some kind of an answer. And it happened so often that the teacher incorporated that into class, and every Friday he had like a little time set out where he called it, it's time for advice from Bryce.
Oh, that's so great. Advice from Bryce.
Yeah, and that's so awful. It's so great for me to hear that because I didn't know that part of Bryce, and it shows me the impact that he had on other kids that I wasn't aware of, you know, and I really appreciate learning that story. And Bryce just lived his life with such purpose and perseverance, and he never gave up. So, I mean, since he's not here to share his story or continue his story anymore, I'm determined to continue sharing his story and make a difference for other families.
That's a real testament to you, though, as a mom, as a parent, and who he became, right? The fact that he impacted so many lives at such a young age, that he was able to give advice to other kids. He was a role model for so many. So that's really a testament and tribute to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think people need to recognize that, you know. But talk about then when he started feeling sick, because at first you thought he had bronchitis. bronchitis, and then what happened?
That's exactly what happened. He started feeling like he couldn't breathe as well as he was before, and so he was slowing down with his workouts and his trainings and not being the fastest kid on the team anymore. And it was because he wasn't breathing right. So I took him to the doctor. They said it was bronchitis, which happens way too often, misdiagnoses often. And I took him back to get an x-ray, and they found a tumor the size of a fist in his lung.
Wow.
Which, at that point, it was like, okay, let's go. It's go time, start treatment. Where do we go next? How do we get the exact
How long
diagnosis?
did this whole process take? Because it's not overnight, right? Because you're going back for more tests and doctors and diagnosis. So from the start of him not feeling well in terms of not being able to breathe to getting that diagnosis of a tumor, how long did that take?
It's hard to say because he was kind of off and on with the not breathing so well, but he was an athlete. And so we would just chalk it up to him being an athlete, and maybe you need to work out a little more or push yourself a little harder. But once he was diagnosed, or once they saw the tumor in his lung, we were immediately sent to CHOC, and they started doing biopsies right away. And we were there for 10 days and formulated a treatment plan, and then he started chemo right away.
Wow.
Wow. Let's bring Candy here into the conversation. You've spent 25 years as a healthcare executive, and you felt like there was something missing in the healthcare system, and that's where you began this cancer treatment response, right? Talk a little bit about your organization, what you do, and how the two of you connected and came together.
Well, we have such a void in our system. There's the diagnosis of the cancer, and then there's the treatment and end path. There's nothing in between to help. Patients like Tracy are newly diagnosed, and you really don't know where to go. Am I with the right doctor? Am I with the right facility? Do I have the right diagnosis? There's a lot of misdiagnosis. There's a lot of administrative work that comes with cancer. There's records that have to get places. There's coordination. There's ER visits. And as a mom, you're just focused on your child. So we step in and try to do everything for them. And the end result should be getting the right diagnosis the first time. Sarcoma is a cancer where there's a lot of misdiagnosis. And that's a problem. Right now I have an adult male who has sarcoma, and they thought it was a shoulder issue. So they performed shoulder surgery, and they didn't find the sarcoma. So now it's on the other side. It transferred over. It grew, it spread. So sarcoma may be out there more than we know. Is it hidden in other issues, symptoms that are going on in our bodies? We don't know. But as far as cancer in general, I handle all ages, all cancers. And we try to help people get through their diagnoses all the way through as much as possible. We're also not AI. We offer a human touch. I always take a phone call. We take a phone call. There's a lot of tears, a lot of times where they just need to talk. And that's important.
There's been a lot of attention, obviously, here locally with what's been going on in Ladera Ranch, but also you want to take this conversation and really emphasize nationally the topic of sarcoma. Talk about that.
Well, right now we just lost Charlotte in Virginia, 10 years old. She had nothing to do with California. I've got 6 or 7 other sarcoma patients that we're helping that are all spread out in California. We just lost Will in Virginia. So the sarcoma isn't just located in the Ladera Ranch, kind of Orange County area. And I'm grateful to be able to talk about it, because when you're just focused on one area, an environmental issue, which is very important, you miss the Bryce stories. You miss Sally down the road in another state, in another city, who might also have it, that might hear about this, and this might be helpful to them.
And Tracy, take us back to, obviously you had to deal with so much once you got the diagnosis, and other people trying to help you process it all, but tell people how quickly your life can change once you get this diagnosis, and how it impacts your whole entire family.
It's incredibly fast. It's overnight. You're thrown into a whole new world that you may or may not know anything about. And I feel like a lot of people aren't familiar with cancer and everything that goes into it, because I know I definitely wasn't. We had never heard of Ewing sarcoma until Bryce was diagnosed with it. And for us, it was very scary too, because they would always tell us nobody knows what causes it. There's no way to prevent it. And the treatment was, I don't know, 50, 60 years old, same treatment for everybody. And so very quickly we had to jump in and start planning things to get him better. But never in a million years did we think he wouldn't survive. And once he relapsed, it spread like wildfire. This particular cancer is nicknamed the Beast because it can spread and be so aggressive so quickly.
What a roller coaster ride emotionally. It's so taxing, and just to think about, you know, the hope you have, and then all of a sudden it's crushing. You mentioned the treatment. What needs to change? It seems like nothing has developed and progressed with the times. What's lacking right now?
That's a heavy question and very clinical. So, and I'm not clinical, so I can't answer that. I will say this. We've got a very fragmented healthcare system, and it is hard to get in the doors, especially to the right person. We have several families that have sarcoma that were able to get to a different expert who seemed to be able to look at the sarcoma and unpeel the onion in different layers. What he has done, I don't know, but a couple of those children are thriving. So for me personally, this is probably one of the worst cancers that I've ever seen, and I've had about 25 in my career. I want to make sure that these families get to the right academic medical center and the physicians that are focusing on sarcoma with heart and mind and research. We need all of that.
And what do you tell families in terms of the first step, where to find all these resources available? Because they're inundated with information that they have to process.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
It is overwhelming. The first thing I do is tell them to stay off Google. Google is scary, and Google often doesn't direct us to exactly where we need to be. But talking to me is a good way, because I'm national and I kind of know where the experts are. And it's not that all of them aren't experts. It's just that some, like I say, are able to look at a certain unique cancer in under a different microscope. And I try to get those patients to the right doctor.
And your organization doesn't charge families for these services?
No, we're donor funded. It's too complicated to do what I do and to go to Tracy and say, I would love to help you, here's a contract, and this is what I charge. So instead, a lot of the donors are families, spouses that keep us going so that we can do this free of charge.
And how have you processed things now? I mean, like Roxy was saying, it never gets easier, right? But you're using your voice, your platform to really spread that message. And when we talk about what's happening at Ladera Ranch and people getting these diagnoses with no reason why, they're not sure where this is coming from, what do you say to those families?
Where I am now is hard, because it's been more than a year, and it seems like to me the second year is a little harder, because now I've gone past all the first of everything, and I really realize he's not coming back. But Ewing sarcoma isn't just, you know, a local issue. It's nationwide. It's everywhere. And I've even seen families or people older than kids being diagnosed with it. So I don't know if it's as rare as we've been told all these years, and I don't understand how there's little pockets of it across the country versus other places. It's just heartbreaking. I don't know.
Thank you both for being here to raise awareness and making people aware of what they need to know and what's out there in terms of resources and help. And really, Candy, for your organization to be with families during the worst moments of their lives, that says a lot about what you do. And Tracy, of course, with you, the fact that you're here right now, as hard as it is, I know, telling this story, you're helping keep Bryce's memory and legacy alive. Like you said, he was always there to help others, and you're continuing to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here again. Cancer Treatment Response, providing free guidance, which is really important for people to know for the families facing cancer and other diagnoses. And you can find all of that information if you go to cancerteamworkresponse.org or by calling or texting the phone number that you see right there on the screen. It's very small, but maybe you can do a screen grab there. And of course, we're going to put this interview on our website, and hopefully it'll be a resource for others. Thank you both.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Poban, ready for another heat wave. Yes, we are on our way to some very hot temperatures again. This big area of high pressure is strengthening as we speak. It's going to move a little closer to Southern California, giving us more heat. We're also tapping into some subtropical moisture coming up from the southwest, also from the southeast. So not only is it going to be hot, but it will start to feel a little bit more humid and sticky, as well as a little unstable for the mountains and deserts as we get to Friday and this upcoming weekend. But because of the heat, we do have these heat advisories that are in effect. A large portion of the valley of LA County out towards Ventura County, so that's where it's going to be particularly hot. It's going to be hot everywhere, but then really, really hot. Extreme heat warnings for all the areas shaded in pink there in our desert communities. The heat risk is quite major in those areas. So if you had plans or have plans to be out and about, you might want to alter them, especially a little later in the day during the peak of the heat. If you're headed to the beach, we do have some surf heights near 2 to 4 feet from Ventura south into Orange County, San Diego. Temperatures on the sand in the mid to upper 70s. Water temperatures still above average in the low to mid 70s in some areas as you get farther south. 90 degrees for downtown LA, inland Orange County. That's well above normal. maybe even hotter tomorrow and Thursday. Add a little humidity, it'll feel hotter than that, especially as we get to Friday into this upcoming weekend. Even though temperatures are going to tumble a few degrees, it will still feel just as hot, if not hotter. 102 in the valleys today. Tomorrow, 105. Out towards our mountain locations, 84 in Big Bear. Up a couple degrees tomorrow and Thursday to 86, with that chance increasing for showers as we get towards the latter part of Thursday into Friday and this upcoming weekend. 101 in the high desert, 205 tomorrow. And the Coachella Valley, of course, hotter, 111 there today. We're going to stay in those triple digits with that chance for showers Friday into the upcoming weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, Maria. The NFL's future could include a passport. Commissioner Roger Goodell says an overseas franchise eventually coming to the league. In an interview with German media today, Goodell said that he had no doubt NFL teams will one day be based outside of the U.S. He said international cities could even host a Super Bowl, but only after securing a permanent team. His comments come as the NFL prepares for a record 9 overseas games this season. That includes the Rams taking on the 49ers in the first ever NFL game in Melbourne, Australia on September 10th.
All right, this may be the most relatable video you'll see today, because who hasn't dropped something at work? Well, just maybe not this much. Take a look. A worker at a frozen custard shop in Wisconsin was just starting his day. Yep. No. And then that happened.
Oh, no.
He was just about to pour in the mix when he lost his grip and it spilled everywhere. It gets worse. Guess who was right around the corner when this happened?
Who?
His boss. Oh. Our sister station in Milwaukee caught up with the worker who described what happened next.
I couldn't see. You can see me take off my glasses there. I could not see what was going on. It was just full of mix, and my first thought was, oh boy. And then my boss comes around the corner. He's like, oh boy. And I was just like, I didn't even know what to do. I was so stunned. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, you can just go home and shower quick. And I was like, all right, I'll go do that.
Oh, boy. Oh, okay. Well, Carter says he was reluctant to post this video online, but coworkers convinced him it was just too funny to keep hidden. And they were right, because we all benefit from seeing this.
Oh, boy, he's right.
Oh, just how wholesome this whole moment is, right? His reaction
is good.
I know.
Custard is tasty.
Custard, delicious.
All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, boy.
Good morning. Welcome to 10 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us.
And we start with this. Boyle Heights activists this morning are pushing to oust the world's largest cold storage warehouse company following that toxic warehouse fire back in June.
Gigi Gracia live at the Lineage warehouse, where yet another story just unfolded in front of her this morning. Good morning, Gigi.
That's right. You never know when breaking news is going to come right to you. And while it's not directly connected to the fire, it could be a consequence of everything that's happened in this Boyle Heights neighborhood. Take a look. Early this morning, about 6:47, Los Angeles County Sheriff deputies pulled up lights and siren and took a man into custody right in front of our cameras. It turns out he's a suspected copper wire thief who they say was stealing copper wire from a business less than a mile away from Lineage. Now, all of this playing out right across the street from Lineage as the work to clean it up continues. And we do know that L.A. County Sheriff's Department deputies and LAPD have both increased patrol in Boyle Heights because of the ongoing situation here. The foul odor from that rotting food, which, by the way, is back. I'll talk about that in just a second. It has drifted pretty far, and a lot of people remain out of their homes and businesses throughout the area. And, of course, burglaries and copper wire theft, a huge issue throughout Los Angeles. Now, let's talk about Lineage. In just a short while, a media briefing is going to start with a local community health group that rolled out their mobile units during the fire here a few months ago. And they are going to talk about their findings when it comes to health-related issues caused by the fire and persisting health issues still. Meanwhile, the cleanup here continues, and so do the protests. Yesterday, Boyle Heights activists, teachers, mayoral candidate Nithya Raman, everyone gathered here in front of Lineage demanding a long list of things, and they say it is an effort to continue pressing Lineage to permanently close its Boyle Heights warehouse, and that's one of the things they are demanding. They say they want to know more about what's happening here. They want an investigation into the fire, and they also want to know more about these health issues.
It's time for the politicians to make policies that address all of our actual real needs as residents of Boyle Heights. And we started walking these streets, and the stories were all the same. Parents, the students, they all got allergies. They continue to have headaches. They have skin rashes and nosebleeds. They are concerned with what one of our parents already said, long-lasting effects. We need justice for these families.
Now, we have reached out to Lineage for comment on the request that they close down their facility here permanently. We're waiting to hear back from them. Meanwhile, yesterday they said 100% of that rotting food waste that had been in the building inside that burned, that freezer number 2, 100% of that waste has now been removed, which of course is good news. But about 7% of the waste in the other building that's still standing, that still needs to be removed. And bringing it back here live earlier this morning, I was happy to report that smell, that nauseating, sickening smell of rotting food had all but disappeared. Well, now at 10 a.m. things have changed. It's 78 degrees here with a real feel of 88 or so. And the smell is back, and you can smell it for blocks and blocks around. It is a very uncomfortable, sick smell. Just imagine if you lost power and the refrigerator or your food in your fridge rotted and you opened it up. That smell, well, imagine that on a grand scale. It is still here. Reporting live in Boyle Heights, I'm Gigi Gracia. Back to you.
That's so unfortunate. All right, Gigi. Thank you. Onto this now, a widely shared poll on the LA mayoral race turns out to be fake. The bogus poll showed Mayor Karen Bass leading City Councilwoman Nithya Raman by nearly 12 percentage points. But Median Strategies, which had described itself on its website as an independent polling and research firm, says it was all a ruse to see if the news media would verify the information. It said the poll was really, quote, a short-term social experiment examining how purported polling information could enter and spread through the political information information ecosystem without independent verification.
New this morning, Disney says federal regulators using their power to punish ABC, and now the company suing to stop it. The lawsuit targeting the FCC's surprise move to then force early license renewals for the 8 ABC stations, including KABC here in Southern California. The suit claims the Trump administration is retaliating against the network for its editorial decisions, pointing to criticism of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel and political discussions on The View. The FCC has not responded to the lawsuit, but says broadcasters must meet public interest standards.
Happening today, opening arguments begin in federal court in Oakland in a case that could require Meta to overhaul its platforms. The company faces allegations of designing features that addicted young users, with states suing and accusing it of fueling a health crisis. Damages could exceed $1 trillion.
Any parent, teacher, or guardian knows the detrimental impact of these products, and this is the tobacco moment for Meta, and this is time for them to be held accountable.
The judge says Mark Zuckerberg is expected to testify. Legal experts say Meta's defense could focus on the fact that while some young people were harmed by using social media, many others say they've received positive outcomes.
The Lakers governor, Jeannie Buss, challenging her siblings' vote to sell the family's remaining stake in the team.
That's right, and Brooke is here to talk about all of that and what the sports world is saying this morning.
Everybody has a lot to say about this. There's a lot of confusion as well. You know, it's interesting because this was, long seen as, although a very, money-making family business. It wasn't a small family business, but it was a family business. And with that came a lot of fighting. Right now, ESPN is reporting 5 of the 6 Buss siblings voted to sell their roughly 18% to a group led by Bob Iger and Josh Kushner. That's a decision Jeannie Buss is fighting. Now, in her 13 years of running the team, Jeannie has either sued or fired every single one of her siblings. And that, I'm told, might be a main reason for what's happening right now.
Because she pushed through the sale to Mark Walter is why a year later, the other siblings are now able to push through the sale of her shares, right? And there's a sad irony to that. Jeannie clearly saying, nah, I'm good, right? let's take this to court. And she brought back the same lawyer who helped her win in 2017, I think it was, who helped her sort of fend off her 2 older brothers through the trust boardroom coup language stuff. The same lawyer is the one she's using now, who put out the statement saying that they're countering that. Yeah, it's just, I think they thought they were, because they're all done. They're out. They haven't been part of the Lakers anyway, right? So for them, it's like, why not? And she's clearly saying, no, I'm not going down without a fight.
Okay, Yaron Weitzman is a sports journalist and author of A Hollywood Ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers. He says last year's sale to Mark Walter was also contentious, that Jeannie's 2 youngest brothers never really wanted to sell, and the decision directly affected their likely future of running the team. Fast forward to now and the push to sell the family's remaining stake. Well, Jeannie's lawyers are arguing a court order requires trustee approval before any sale can move forward. But a potential court battle to hold onto her shares and her job might not even matter. She's been the Lakers governor since 2013, and with this latest turmoil, this latest drama, the team's new owners might just want a change. Here's sports journalist Arash Markazi on that.
When the Buss family sold it to Mark Walter, there was an agreement in place that Jeannie Buss would stay in control for 5 years. I do not believe, and we'll have to get this figured out, is Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, are they under that same agreement? Bob Iger told the California Post, it is my intention to go through with that agreement that she had with Mark. However, if things change, they change. This is why this is very significant. If Bob Iger and Josh Kushner are under no obligation to keep Jeannie as the governor of the team, they could easily say, hey, Jeannie, we'll let you figure that part out. You're not the governor of the team no matter what.
Last week, Walter sold the team to Iger and Kushner for a record-breaking $12.5 billion. Now, that deal does still need final approval from the NBA. It's interesting, the Lakers' recent $12.5 billion valuation ties the team for the 3rd highest in global sports, according to Sportico.
So you could understand why Jeannie wants to keep her job, remain in the job. That's been her life and her family legacy. But it's interesting to see what would happen if she isn't in that job, how the team will change possibly.
Yeah, it's so interesting because in the immediate, it seems the team wouldn't change at all, right? But then you think back, a lot of the big decisions as far as coaches, Rob Pelinka himself, his job, Magic Johnson's short tenure with the team, so you think of the stars, LeBron, Russell Westbrook recently, those are all decisions that Jeannie Buss signed off on. You know, the governor is really important because it's which owner has the final say. You know, there's a lot of people that have a stake. Even the owner of the LA Times is still a minority owner of the Lakers. There's a lot of people involved, right? Which owner represents the team at the Board of Governors, at the meetings with the NBA? Which owner has the final say in every major decision? And right now, that's Jeannie Buss. And she, it seems, wants to keep that job for the rest of her life. And it seems her family just wants to cash out.
So we obviously don't know within their family like what the dynamic is, but she really fired her siblings. And what has their relationship been like, I guess, up to this point?
Yeah, we really don't know, right, personally what their relationship has been like. But you know, yes, she has fired all 5 of her siblings. The last 3 lost their jobs at some point after the most recent sale. The first 2, you know, you'll remember it back in 2017, that really contentious battle over really control over the company. And so that was a big part of, you know, losing those jobs then. And after the Mark Walter sale, it's also interesting because you'd think the way the trust is set up, at least what we know as far as public reporting and information, that the likelihood in the end that who would be running the team, you know, decades from now, it would be the 2 youngest siblings. And so selling the team kind of changes that dynamic, of course, as well. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, more to come. We'll see what happens and how
we'll
everything plays out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brooke.
New this morning, a judge has blocked the Trump administration's plan to move FBI headquarters to a federal office building in Washington, D.C. The judge ruling that the administration illegally tossed out a plan that was previously approved to build a new FBI facility in Maryland. It is the latest development in a year-long battle over where the headquarters will be for the nation's premier law enforcement agency. The Biden administration picked a site in Greenbelt, Maryland. The Trump administration wants to scrap that plan and repurpose a federal office complex just a few blocks from the FBI's current D.C. headquarters. The suit was brought by the state of Maryland, saying the state and the county had already invested more than a decade of work and millions of dollars on bringing the facility to Greenbelt.
All right, time now to talk about our weather. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. We've got a good-looking view here. This is our Santa Monica camera looking at the beach, of course. A little emptier these days because of the kids back to school. But if you still have it off, lucky you. We do have some heat today. We're also tapping into some subtropical clouds here coming up from the southwest. Also some moisture that will eventually be streaming up from the southeast due to this big area of high pressure that we are watching build from the Four Corners. This is going to help produce the very hot temperatures, also the more muggy, humid conditions as we tap into that subtropical moisture. So this heat wave is back, and we are anticipating those heat alerts today. A little bit, actually just begun for many areas inland for some of our valley locations, and of course our desert communities as that big area of high pressure continues to dominate. Temperatures will actually stay well above average as we get into the upcoming weekend. 82 in Pasadena right now, 83 in Woodland Hills, 76 in Santa Ana, 81 in Riverside, to that 101 already in Palm Springs. Look at Big Bear in the upper 70s, and it'll get to those mid 80s later this afternoon up to the mountains. That's where we've got the heat advisory. 101 in the high desert to 111 in Palm Springs, where you can expect that excessive heat warning. So please be mindful of what you have planned outdoors this afternoon in those areas. The heat risk for heat-related illness is quite high over the next several days. 90 degrees for downtown LA to the upper 70s along the coast. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a few moments. In the meantime, let's talk about traffic. Good Day LA traffic is brought to you by My Home Sold. As we zoom into the numerous delays and crashes, here's one that I want to tell you about. This is in Valley Village. There's been an accident on that southbound 170 right before Burbank Boulevard. Things are starting to clear out a little bit, but traffic still backed up slightly to Oxnard. Here's one of our live traffic cameras of a very busy 60 freeway. This is the eastbound 60 here. These trucks coming at you on the left-hand side. This is at Archibald. Really slow moving on both sides, east and westbound sides of that 60 at Archibald. Drive times in and out of downtown LA coming on that West 10 between the 5 to the 405 from Mid-City towards Santa Monica, 31 minutes. On that North 110 between the 405 to the 10, it's improved a little bit to that 20-minute mark. Westbound 60 between the 57 to the 5, really slow still, 41 minutes there. Now here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
Hi, I'm Adrian with My Home Sold, and we want to buy your house. We buy any house in any condition. No commissions, no closing costs, and no repairs. Go to myhomesold.com for a free same-day cash offer. That's myhomesold.com.
A creepy encounter straight out of a horror movie in Philadelphia. Police are searching for a suspect accused of terrorizing people while wearing a Chucky doll mask. Investigators say the suspect approached several people near Philadelphia City Hall, chasing some and recording the encounters on a phone. At one point, police say the suspect asked a jogger, "Are you ready to die?" before chasing her down the street. The woman injured her leg while trying to get away, and police say the suspect remains at large.
A murder trial of rapper Tupac Shakur continues today in Las Vegas. The rap legend was killed in a drive-by shooting back in 1996 in Vegas. Tupac's murder has gone unsolved for decades, but police revived the investigation in 2019 after former gang leader Dwayne "Keefy" D. Davis released a tell-all book. Davis was then arrested in 2023, accused of orchestrating Tupac's killing.
Dwayne Davis did not pull the trigger, but what he did do was plan the retaliation for the beating of his neck. You will learn that Dwayne Davis got the gun. You will learn that he got into a white Cadillac. When the opportunity presented itself for retribution, Dwayne Davis made sure that the shooters were armed and ready to execute their revenge. And remarkably, you will learn that from Dwayne Davis himself.
Davis has pled not guilty. If convicted, he does face life in prison.
This morning, the defense continues presenting its side in the case of a Massachusetts woman charged with killing her children while allegedly suffering postpartum psychosis.
The woman's mother-in-law told the court Lindsay Clancy was begging for help in the months leading up to the killings. Caroline Elliott, that is, has the very latest.
The triple murder trial of Lindsay Clancy now enters a new phase as the defense begins presenting this unique case. According to Clancy's lawyers, this trial is not about what happened, but rather why it happened.
She had medication after medication after medication. She was suffering from mental disease, a defect, and then ultimately this horrific incident.
Clancy's lawyer admitted the Massachusetts mom killed her 3 kids, but instead blamed her doctors for allegedly missing red flags.
It seemed like she very much decompensated. I do remember her saying at one point at the beginning of December, something along the lines of, I'm in a really tough spot. I had this gut feeling that something was off and that she was really struggling.
The defense claims Clancy was on 13 different psychiatric medications over the course of 1 year. That allegedly led to voices telling her to kill her 3 kids in an episode of postpartum psychosis. But prosecutors argue mental health struggles do not equal legal insanity.
And when she made the statement that she had thoughts of harming the children, did either you or Patrick ask her what she meant by that?
I believe I remember Pat asking her if she felt like she couldn't be alone with the children, and she said no.
And after she made those statements, did you have any thoughts about committing her?
No.
Were you concerned for the children's safety at that point in time?
No, because I was there.
And if convicted, Lindsay Clancy could face life in prison. In New York, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
And on to a follow-up story that we told you about yesterday. A jet skier who went missing in the ocean near Long Beach has been found alive after spending more than 12 hours in the water. What an incredible story. This story began Sunday night. That is when the Coast Guard said a 53-year-old man fell off of his rented jet ski. His female riding partner swam for nearly an hour before reaching the break wall and getting help. By late Monday morning, the Coast Guard said one of its choppers spotted the man floating in a life jacket 3 miles off the Seal Beach Pier. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated for hypothermia. He is expected to recover. Officials say the man's life jacket likely made all the difference.
Wow. Incredible story there. Wow, 12 hours at sea. All right, President Trump invited a Santa Cruz teen lifeguard and the boy he rescued to the White House in this amazing story. The viral video shows 16-year-old Ryder Williams, a California State Parks lifeguard, risking his life to save 10-year-old Nathaniel Ray from those pounding waves. Nathaniel's father thanked Williams, saying he's beyond grateful for the rescue of his son. The video reached millions, including President Trump, who says it's an honor to meet the young lifeguard.
I understand he was a winner right from the time they first saw him as a lifeguard. A lot of training, a lot of work. And he saved this young gentleman who I had a long talk with. I said, would you have made it without him? And he said, not really, right? Not really. It was trouble. So you're going to have a long and beautiful life.
I hope that everybody can take away from this and try to help more people. Try to look out for everybody around you and just try to help everybody out as much as you can.
It's incredible what Ryder did. I'm just beyond grateful to him and Aaron and the rest of the team and even the Good Samaritans that were there.
Wow. President Trump, pledging to bestow a high civilian honor on Williams, calling the rescue, quote, truly the best of America.
I think we can all agree on that.
Incredible.
That's really great.
16 years old. What a young hero. Amazing. A downtown LA charter school has closed its doors for good. The school's founder blames the city of LA's homeless program.
Yeah, he says open drug use, even carjackings near campus put kids in danger. Gina Silva has the story you'll see only on Fox 11.
This is where the school was located in downtown Los Angeles. The building is empty now, but according to the founder, the school had so much promise. That is until, as he puts it, the city chose the homeless over the kids.
We were just collateral damage and didn't mean anything because I'm gonna be honest, when you're black and brown in this city, you're dealt the short end of the stick unless you have a lot of money. And that's just the reality.
Dana Hammond isn't holding back. The founder of the Academy of Media Arts says the LAUSD charter school was forced to close. He blames the city's homeless programs, and he's suing the city of LA. The case is now headed to trial.
We have a jury trial. Thank God. We have a jury trial with the city March 21st, 2028.
Academy of Media Arts opened inside the LA Grand Hotel in downtown LA in August of 2022. The building also housed a city homeless shelter known as Project Room Keep. Hammond says he was told the shelter would close before the school's opening date. That didn't happen.
According to our lease, the hotel was supposed to be operating as a 4-star hotel, not a homeless shelter.
Hammond says the problems were constant. Open drug use, prostitution, and drugged individuals coming onto campus through a shared stairwell. This is one of several incidents where LAPD was called to the school.
The residents of the homeless shelter came down 3rd floor, got down to 2nd floor, tried to jump out of our facility.
It took 8 police officers to detain him, and this person came into our lobby. Our security had to run him out, and he tried to carjack someone, and the police found him over right on the corner on 4th and Fig.
Hammond says he reached out to city officials to say,
I said, I hope we're not choosing homeless over our scholars. I call them scholars because that's what they are. Kids from Watts, Inglewood, who all they need is exposure.
Worried for their safety, parents began pulling their kids from Academy of Media Arts.
It was a slow grind that they caused, which we stopped paying our lease the last year we were here. And we couldn't afford it. We went down to 50 kids.
Hammond says fighting the city of Los Angeles has not been easy, but he says he's not backing down.
Our kids lost a school. And this was my dream. And I don't believe in the system anymore. I did everything right.
We contacted the city attorney's office, Councilwoman Isabel Jurado, who represents this district, and also Mayor Bass's office. So far, no one has gotten back to us. Reporting from downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
All right, turning now to weather. Good Day LA weather is brought to you by the Razavi Law Group. Here's a live look outside right now. I believe this must be, I'm going to guess it's Malibu. Yes, look at all the surfers out there enjoying the 2 to 4 foot sets rolling in. Beautiful. Really nice conditions in the water, trying to get some relief from the heat inland. You can get to the beach with those water temperatures getting as warm as low to mid 70s. The heat risk is rising, though. Last week, we talked about it being actually really quite low. We had some cooling, and now we're back to some heating. We've got another heat wave on the way today, beginning today into tomorrow and even Thursday. Look at how the heat risk really increases for the valleys and the Inland Empire up to very high, even extreme in terms of the temperatures, the heat index that we have to consider with the moisture coming up from the south and southeast. So it's going to feel a little bit warmer than what the thermometer actually reads with the increasing humidity values as we get to the end of the week. There's the 3 days that we had some relief from the heat, below average highs, and then yesterday, the day before, we got it back up to above average into the upper 80s. We have had quite a dry streak in downtown LA. We haven't had any rain since April 12th, so that makes it 128 days in a row of very dry conditions. Speaking of dry, there might be some shower activity out over the mountains and the desert communities, but not until, I'd say, Friday into Saturday. Not a whole lot of accumulation, but just in case, if you have some plans to be outdoors, out and about this weekend, you might want to just alter that plan. Make sure you stay weather alert in case we get those showers. Almanac for downtown LA. 84 is the average, so we're running above that today with that 90 degrees. Our sunset time later this evening at 7:36. These are the other highs we're expecting today. 111 in Palm Springs with that heat warning in effect. 102 in San Bernardino, 104 in Victorville, 102 in Woodland Hills, to that 97 in Corona, Long Beach 89, nearly 80 in Santa Monica and Huntington Beach. I'll send it back to you.
I see a lot of reds and pinks on that map. Ooh-wee. When are we getting my Halloween weather? That's what I want to know.
It's August.
Settle down.
Yeah. Settle down.
She's giving
Let
me
me have my moment.
Oh my God.
I like it hot.
Yeah, you do?
I do.
Yeah, all right. You like it? I'll show you. Speaking of some like it hot.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. You know, Sandy, some like it hot. Gentlemen prefer blondes. And maybe Barbies are a girl's best friend. Well, to celebrate the one and only Marilyn Monroe's 100th birthday, a new signature blonde bombshell has entered the villa. Inspired by the actress's iconic performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend from 1953, the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Look at that. The iconic gloves, the old Hollywood hairstyle, the beauty mark, the jewels, even the essence. The doll is now available at major U.S. retailers like Walmart and Amazon for $81. And I was thinking, what's the 81 reference? Because that's specific, not $79.99, not 80, 81. And the only thing I can think of that because there wasn't anything specified on the 81, was that it was released August 18th, and you just switch around the 18 to make 81.
Okay.
But if anyone knows any people out there who know any real Maryland trivia, I wonder if 81 plays a part in that.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. Oasis. Let's go back to high school, shall we, girls? I said maybe you're going to be the one that saves me. And today is going to be the day that we get a sneak peek at the Oasis documentary.
We all said that we didn't mean it. That's the way it is when you miss people.
The songs are one thing, but I'd forgotten what he means to people. I certainly wasn't prepared for the intense outpouring. A sense of what it meant to people.
Got to try and ignite something, you know what I mean?
You've got a chance to change the narrative of the band.
Wow, it's all brotherly love at the very end of the day. The Gallagher brothers have greenlit this behind-the-scenes look where the documentary titled Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger highlights the band of brothers' dramatic reunion. Liam and Noel formed Oasis back in 1991 in England. And this film follows their Oasis Live 25 tour that happened last year. They performed at the Rose Bowl last year. It was considered one of the most anticipated rock and roll comebacks because it captured the experience and the emotions of the band and their fans all across the world. I mean, not only were people waiting for them to come back on the stage and perform, fans are waiting for them to make up. They had a big riff, and this was their not only reunion tour, this was their comeback together tour. I don't have a sister. I have two brothers. I know you have a sister. You have a brother. Fighting with your siblings, not fun. Not fun.
And it's hard to get back together sometimes, you know, because it's just, it runs deep. But I wonder if this also takes into account the sensation Wonderwall was for England during the World Cup.
Oh,
and all the fans.
There we go.
There we go. I had to get it in
I was
there.
like, wait, she's smiling really big. I'm like, are we going to get a little champagne supernova Sandy coming out? Okay, the World Cup. Yeah, it was huge with that. Also, listen, back in the day, where my millennials at? When a young boy or young girl made a mixtape or a burn CD, and they had Wonderwall on there.
That was good.
It was the song, right?
So good.
What do your kids play now when they have a crush?
They don't. They're too young.
Dad, good answer.
Yeah, they better not be having crushes yet.
That was a test.
That's right.
Good answer. Maybe Hallelujah, Justin Bieber.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. try to tap into what the kids are listening.
They're really into Benson Boone.
Really? Wow.
Tate McRae.
Tate McRae, yeah.
I don't know which song would be appropriate for a crush. I don't not sports car or anything like that.
Wishy today. I love it. Well, speaking of the brothers that beef, and now they have brotherly love, we asked you, what's harder, friend drama or family drama? Wow, 72% say the family drama hurts more. Cheryl in Westchester says, if you knew my family on my husband's side, you'd totally agree. Currently going through it, and it's been 3 months, but feels like it's been 3 years. Oh, boy. Cheryl, I hope you guys get past it.
Yikes.
Sonia from Brea, family drama is the worst. And no, Amanda, not all family is forgiven.
Okay.
Our family was permanently divided over a will.
Oh, yeah.
Money will do to some.
You know what, Sonia?
Always brings out the
funny. Money makes people funny.
Ugly.
Well, yeah, but like people are funny with money, you know what I'm saying?
Avery from Los Angeles, there's no drama when you can't care, when you don't care the outcome. People will eventually get over it.
Okay.
Oh, so just don't care.
Okay. Amanda in Corona, unfortunately, it's frowned upon to cut off toxic family, but sometimes blood isn't thicker.
Yeah, sometimes you have no choice.
That is true.
For your mental well-being.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, listen, most of the things that I hear about a lot of families argue over has to do with money.
Sure.
That's a big one. And also holidays. People get really protective over where you spend the holidays.
Especially when you get married.
Got to divide your time.
I mean, that was just kind of, we had to have that conversation before the marriage.
Yeah.
That my grandma has custody of Christmas. It's just a thing. Mima gets Christmas.
Okay. All right.
You
That's
agree?
fair.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
President Trump says the U.S. has no talks planned with Iran and insists the Strait of Hormuz is open, despite Iranian officials saying they are in control of shipping through the waterway.
As Next later reports, the White House is looking to increase economic pressure on the Iranian regime, even as tensions mount here at home.
Well, there is a report of another ship being hit in the Strait of Hormuz today, with oil prices already on the rise this week.
Mr. President, are you seeking an extension on the MOU?
President Trump says he's not looking to extend the memorandum of understanding with Iran that just expired yesterday without a longer-term deal. Instead, he seems intent to maintain the blockade of Iranian ports, and he once again mentioned the idea of declaring the Strait of Hormuz U.S. territory.
We have a blockade. We control it with a blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
And much of the effort to build pressure on Iran could be engineered not by the Pentagon, but through the efforts of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to try to further isolate Iran's economy.
I mean, there's a lot of talk in the West Wing that Secretary Scott Bessent has perhaps become an even more central figure than the Secretary of Defense. The Operation Economic Fury now really taking precedence here.
And while there is no question that Iran's economy is already taking huge hits, the regime appears to be settling in for a long fight.
And they're going to keep riding it out because they believe the pressure on the president in terms of midterms and also the oil and gas prices spiking will keep him from conducting military operations.
And a new poll just released by Reuters puts the president's approval rating at a new low of 33%. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
A new snapshot of the Southern California housing market shows prices and sales pulling back. The California Realtors Association saying the median price for an LA County home fell to $888,000 in July. That is down more than 2% from June. Sales, meanwhile, fell nearly 9% from the previous month as buyers continue to navigate higher borrowing costs. Realtors say homes typically sold in about 26 days.
So what about Orange County? Realtors say the median home price in July was nearly $1.5 million. That's down about 1% from the previous month, but still more than 5% higher year over year. The findings show sales dropped nearly 9% from June.